Welcome to Let's Talk Wellness, where we will be sharing insights into the world of mental health and wellness as we explore traditional medicine and holistic healing options. It's time to have new conversations about mental health. Join Mara James, the founder and CEO of the Hugs for Life Healing Center, as she guides us along this journey. And now, let's talk wellness.
Welcome to Let's Talk Wellness. I'm your host, Mara James, and I want to say thank you for joining us for today's conversation. During Let's Talk Wellness, we focus on healing, understanding, growth, and spirituality. This is part of the Hugs for Life Healing Center, a subsidiary of the Extraordinary Lives Foundation, nonprofit organization, where we are devoted to supporting mental health awareness and providing resources for children and their families. As the founder of these organizations, I have the great joy of collaborating with a team of amazing people to bring healing to children and their families around the world. You can find all of our information at elfempowers.org, and you can find this link in the show information. Now, let's talk wellness with today's guest, Cheryl Silverstein. Cheryl Silverstein is a MFT, otherwise known as a marriage family therapist, and soul memory discovery practitioner, as well as a jazz singer. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you so much, Mara. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, and you were one of my first healers probably 7 or 8 years ago, so it's such an honor to have you here today.
Thank you.
So can you share with us what guided you to become a marriage and family therapist?
Yes, well, a long time ago, back in 2000, I had a full practice of very traditional therapy, and I noticed that my clients were suffering, and it took a long time to move them through change and effective corrective healing. So I kept asking for something spiritually, something to help all my clients, and I got it.
And what was the it that you got?
Well, sometimes when we ask for something, we don't really know what we're going to get. And then sometimes it's something that we don't want. And what happened is I got sick. And when I got sick, I had to find a way to get better. And I learned a process called soul memory discovery. And I was so blessed to have this process. What it is our body cells hold memories of everything that we've ever experienced. Our souls also carry those memories. Sometimes these memories create negative and limiting beliefs, which manifest in our life, causing pain and distress, and sometimes illness. So what this wonderful process does is it helps us access these memories, which are held in our body cells. And these accessing helps to use these unlimited memories held by our souls. And we identify and take these sources of the emotional, physical, and spiritual pain, and then release those memories. And through this simple healing process, we are able to replace them with the new expanded beliefs, which immediately begin to manifest positively in our lives.
Wow. And when you said you got sick, was that emotionally or physically?
That was physically, but what it turned out to be was I had a past life where I was an invalid and laying in bed and very, very ill, and I had died in my late 30s. And so with this process, what we did is we released the karma, and I was able to reconnect with God and stop the bleed through that was coming through into my life and heal with this new corrective healing.
So you use the words past life and karma, and I understand that not everybody either knows what those are or believe in them. So my first question is, does it matter whether or not somebody believes in past lives or in karma for your work to actually work?
Well, that's the fascinating thing is you don't have to believe in it. It just works. It's so amazing that these things that you don't have to understand actually correct our issues.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'd like to think about, like, we don't always understand how electricity works or about gravity, but we know, like, when you go to switch the light switch on, light's going to come on, but we don't have to actually know how it works. Right. That's so amazing. And in addition to all this work, which we'll get back into, I understand that you are a jazz singer.
I am. One of the wonderful things in my training is that luckily we developed this intuition, and I was told during a special soul memory process that I was supposed to sing and perform, and I didn't at that time. I was 49 years old, and I did not know that this was one of my purposes. And what I did is I threw myself into lessons and going to Saddleback College and being in the presence of these wonderful teachers there that were able to teach me how to sing. One of my teachers told me that it would take 10 years to develop the muscles in my vocal cords to sing. And so I'm on 15 years, so I'm going strong, and I'm a professional jazz singer now.
Wow. So they said it would take 10 years. Did it actually take 10 years, or it didn't?
It took 5 years. One of my favorite sayings is that one of my friends taught me was, you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great.
Oh, my goodness. Wait, say that again slowly.
You don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great.
Wow. I love that.
And so I started when I was 5 years into it, but my voice has changed and become even better as the time has moved on.
Wow. And why do you think you were encouraged to become a singer? Does your voice have any healing qualities?
Yes. It's actually, it heals me, and then it heals the people that I'm singing for. It's I sing a lot of love songs and a lot of peaceful songs and some fun songs and a lot of blues, along with the jazz, of course. And it's very healing. It is. So I enjoy it a lot, but it is for my higher self. And it makes me feel very happy when I get to do this, like high happy. So it's a very wonderful feeling.
That is amazing. So when people are listening to you saying that it's healing them, how does that work?
It helps them manifest some anxiety releasing feelings. They're enjoying themselves. They're able to relax and go with the music.
Wow. And they don't even know. So it's a gift that you're offering to them that they're not even aware of.
Right. So, I try to help other people find their passion, because when you find, what you really are here for, one of the things that I'm here for is to sing and to heal. So to help other people find what they want to do, I'll say, would you like to be able to do this? This is something I do. And I invite them to come listen, and they are inspired because I'm normal. I'm regular person. I am, older, and I'm still doing what I want to do and really living my life. So it's kind of exciting.
Oh, beautiful. Right. So when I know, like, when we just talked in the past about the soul memory discovery, you talked like it's really good, like if people are feeling stuck, they have low energy levels or trouble concentrating, people don't feel like they belong, people want more in life, a couple more things. They want to find out their purpose in life, and they want to develop their spiritual gifts. Can you talk about a couple of these things?
Sure. Well, how it starts is we do a polarity balance, And this aligns the flow of the energy field with the earth's energy. And so once that is balanced, then we get rid of all the negative energies that are blocking any kind of light that's coming into their field. And then what we do is let's say I remember this one lady, she wanted to be a gardener and take all the flowers that she grew and become a florist. So she had all these processes in her mind on how to get where she needed to go. And once we said it out loud, and I checked it with my pendulum, and we got yes and no answers, then we were able to guide her to this is what she wanted. And she gave me the validation of, yes, she's always wanted to be a florist and grow her own flowers and make these beautiful arrangements. Bouquets? Yes, bouquets and arrangements, that she created for happy things and sad things, but the flowers would bring so much joy. And that's what we're here for, is to be in joy and to love. And that was her way of being able to express and manifest those feelings.
Beautiful. So you just picked up, I'm not sure if people are listening or versus watching us, but you just picked up something that you called the pendulum. Can you share with our friends watching or listening what exactly a pendulum is and how you work with it?
Okay, well, this is a pendulum, and for me, I'm able to get answers. So I would say something like, is my name Cheryl? And it will turn to the right, which is clockwise for me. And then I'll say, is my name Igor? And it'll turn to the left, because my name is not Igor. So what it does is it connects with that energy of me. And then if I'm dealing with you, if I was doing a session with you, Mara, your guides and your master guides would be connecting with this energy. And so I'd say, is your name Mara? And it would say yes. And the answers are coming from your guides and my guides and making the pendulum move.
Wow. And when you do that, is it possible? I mean, I know a lot of times people think that one's controlling it, but is it possible to get wrong answers? Do you have to protect yourself to be able to get answers, like energetically?
Well, what we do is we always set sacred space, and this protects and from any kind of corruption. This is a very high level, very pure process, soul memory discovery. And so you can always ask, am I getting accurate information? And is there something else I need to know before we get the answer that we want? And then at the very end, when we close the session, there are certain questions that you have to ask. And sometimes our guides don't let us close until we have everything that we need. So it's pretty proof. I forgot what the word is.
Pretty accurate. And the word that you're using, guides, you're talking spirit guides?
Yeah, spirit guides, master guides, people that guide you through your life. And you can find out who these, and they're not people anymore, but these spirits are through soul memory. There are names for them that we call them. There are ways to connect with them. It's pretty cool to know that you're not alone.
Oh, amen. So is it working? Is it like connecting also with like one's angels and someone that maybe passed that they once knew? Or is it somebody that could?
Yeah, there are guardian angels, there are master guides, there are animal guides, there are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there are biblical guides, literature guides. There's many different entities that will guide you and help you. And they are so blessed to be helping you that they get very excited when you ask them questions because they just want to please you.
Wow. And so what I love about it is when someone they don't believe in a higher power or something, they feel all alone. And this really helps them to know that they're not alone and we're all just so connected. Does it matter if what religion somebody is or whether or not they even believe in God for them to connect with their guides and angels?
What's great about this is not a religious process. This is a spiritual modality. So it doesn't matter if you are religious or not religious. A lot of times people are like, I don't want it to be religious, because maybe they've had religion pushed down their throat as a child. So they are totally against that. Or maybe they are so religious that they love it and they are, not understanding how to be spiritual and not be religious. So it works for anybody.
Wow, that's amazing. So we're going to take a very quick break, and then we're going to come back and I want to talk to you about karma and then the clients that you work with on behalf of their children without even having their children there. So we'll be right back. One moment.
In these shifting and changing times, more and more lives are being impacted by mental health. The Extraordinary Lives Foundation, also known as ELF, is transforming the way people view and navigate mental health challenges. Their mission is to improve children's mental health and wellness and support families by providing educational tools, resources, and awareness events. ELF encourages families to recognize symptoms, overcome the stigma, and reach out for help. Through prevention, early intervention, and holistic treatment, we believe many of the big problems facing today's youth can be transformed within a generation. Extraordinary Lives Foundation is excited to offer the Hugs for Life Healing Center, growing a worldwide network of approved holistic healers and bridging the gap between traditional and complementary healing options. Visit the Extraordinary Lives Foundation website at www.elfempowers.org to find out more about their resources and events. Together, we can change the conversation around mental health. We hope that you're enjoying today's Let's Talk Wellness podcast. And if you have a topic that you would like us to explore, we would love to hear from you. Simply email us at info@elfempowers.org. That's info@elfempowers.org. And now, back to the show.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Wellness. I'm your host, Mara James, and today we're speaking with Cheryl Silverstein, a marriage family therapist, soul memory recovery practitioner, and jazz singer. Welcome back, Cheryl.
Thank you.
So working with you in so many sessions, one of the things I love working with you on is clearing karma. And a lot of times when I have, let's just say there's somebody pushing my buttons, a worker, a coworker, a family member, a friend, I'll ask you, like, do we have a past life together? Is there some karma that needs to get cleared? And it's so profound, how you go through that clearing. Can you talk about that, please?
Sure. What happens is with karma, this happens because there is a cause and effect in karma. There is whatever thoughts or energy that you put out, you get back, good or bad. And so in order to get what you want, you have to embody it and be worthy of those things. So what we do with this karma is, let's say, like you said, there was someone that was bugging you and but it was really strong and you couldn't shake it and you just didn't know why you felt the way you felt so strongly towards her. And so we go back into the past and we look at how these feelings bled through into this lifetime. And so you take that karma and we release it, and then we replace it with positive words, and then we manifest the corrective healing.
Wow, that's beautiful. And I know you've shared with me several clients that actually I referred to you, or that the Hugs for Life Healing Center referred to you, where they're trying to get pregnant, and you've had some success. Can you share about that, please?
All right. So would you like to know about the children or the adults?
Well, first about the mother that's having problems getting pregnant, and then speaking about like when there are issues with children. We could talk about that next.
Okay. Well, a lot of times what happens in soul memory is we have practitioners that have specialties in certain things. Sometimes it's a specialty of where releasing someone who has had an attachment and can't move to the light. And sometimes it's helping people who are uh, infertile, they think, not being able to get pregnant. And so we send them to a practitioner that has that kind of specialty. And then they're able, most cases, to get pregnant. What we do is we take this block, this emotional block, because soul memory discovery is an emotional healing through the vibrations of the words. And we move that block so that it's not there any longer, and the light can come in and they can get pregnant, or they can feel better about themselves, or whatever the issue is. So it's pretty
Wow.
miraculous.
Amazing. And I've spoken to a few people, and this is where I don't know if they're open or believe in it, but I'd love to guide them on their journey. Both of them have, one has a 2-year-old, one has a 3-year-old. And one of them is acting very different after the birth of a new baby. And the other one is acting, having some issues with her younger sibling, and she's only 2. So are there things that you can do that could help change the behavior or what's going on? Maybe there's some karmic issues going on with the 2 siblings?
Yeah, it's so funny. I just had a session with a woman who has I think he's 5 into kindergarten, and a little brother who's 2.5. And the 2.5-year-old, we did a soul memory on him through the mom, because the mom gives permission until the child is 17. And so we were finding out what was going on with the child. And there was some past life issue at the preschool, and he didn't want to go to preschool every single day. And so what we found out is we moved him to another preschool, and he's so happy now. So we released whatever it was and found out what the block was.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, because the child can't say, because they're too little.
Right. Sure. And even if they're older, I know, and I've had issues, I don't know where it's coming from. I just know that something's going on. Another healing that we've done together, it's beautiful, and I don't know what you call it, but it's like when God and I are separate, I feel one way, and then when God and I are one, it's that connection. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, that's the process, the exact process of the karmic release, where you are separate from God, and that's when the darkness is there. And when you are connected with God, then the light comes in and the healing occurs.
Wow.
So you just have to find
the
right words to release that. Sorry.
Right. No, yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, as we're sitting here talking again about God, like what is God and what does that mean to everybody? And, for me growing up Jewish, I was scared. Like I never believed in God until I had my spiritual awakening 8 years ago, and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. But I had this vision of this, king on the throne in the sky, pointing down and looking at me saying, no, no, no. And it was very judgmental. So how can you share, I guess, with everybody what your idea is of this so-called God?
Yeah, well, I always ask, what are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with the word God? Are you comfortable with source? Are you comfortable with Mother Nature? Are you comfortable with puppy dogs? Are you comfortable with babies? Comfortable with the ocean? Whatever the something is that's bigger than us. is fine. You can use any word. It doesn't really matter as long as it resonates with you.
Right. And a lot of times universe I found has been great working. You know, I'll ask somebody, are you okay with the word God? Do you want to use universe?
Yeah. Universe and cosmos,
Okay.
they're really popular.
Wow, wow, wow. Awesome. Are there other any stories that you want to share with our friends watching and listening that you think will be very inspiring to them?
Sure. I have a little boy that I work with that is very afraid of going to sleep at night. Lived through of course, our pandemic, and is now back in school doing everything. He's 9 years old, and so he thinks he's going to die in his sleep. And I've been using and he's been checked at the doctor. He's fine. Has some allergies, but that's about it. And so I've been using traditional therapy with him, and then some EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which is really good and deep, but it isn't as deep as soul memory. And so in our last session, I decided, oh, it must be a past life where he has died in his sleep. And so we are going to release that karma in our next session and do that. And his mom and dad are fine with this process.
Right. I guess when people are suffering enough, they'll try whatever it takes, you know, and I love that, you know, you go first, the medical route, make sure everything's clear and okay. And then you went to traditional therapy, then the EMDR, which is great to release PTSD that we've done together. Now, it will be interesting that since he's only experiencing it now, did he die, you know, in a past life, like at the age of 9, and that's why he's experiencing it now?
Yeah, because he said this week, he goes, I was fine for my 8 years, but all of a sudden, you know, this is what's going on. And I just can't stand it anymore because it's awful not to sleep.
Yeah, no. Wow, and if you don't sleep, your mental health is just out the door. I think it's amazing for me personally, the things that like we've done together. You know, I work with a lot of healers, but what's really special about you know, in addition to the EMDR, just the clearing karma and obstacles. And it's funny when I'm guided to meet with you, and I think it's like, I need to know my past life, but the person has nothing to do with that. But like once, it was a few weeks ago, you know, we had to clear, I had obstacles in my way, and I wasn't able to do my life purpose and move along with the foundation. So I've had to do a lot of personal clearing with you to help the organization do what it's supposed to do and help, you know, heal others. So it's just so profound. I'm so grateful for you and your healing process, because, you know, it really would have prevented me. It's just people don't talk. You know, there's another one of our healers that is studying for a PhD, and she said that 90% of mental illness are dark energies. And I thought that was really profound, because I've seen there are a few people. My son at 16 had this darkness taken over him, and thank God we were able to release it. My daughter's friend at 20 years old, within the past year, took his life. And she said when she saw him, he just looked like there was a darkness. And it's just so sad, because people are suffering, and medication's great to stabilize, but you know, it doesn't, you know, a lot of times it's just things that we know that can be released so easily that people just don't know about, or they're scared about. And it's just, you know, it comes from love and light and the universe. So
this process
thank you for everything.
Thank you. This process is so gentle. It's safe. It's uplifting, empowering, and immediately effective. And the best part is it's life enhancing and permanent.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. I referred to you a client of mine who is a child psychiatrist, an MD psychiatrist, and she said, my session with Cheryl was great. I feel great. I don't know why. I'm scheduling another session. And I remember when I first started working with you, I wasn't really clear what was going on, and you know, about the clearing stuff. And you know, I think sometimes when you talk about the word clearing and, you know, energies or entities or darkness, like people get scared, and they just don't understand that you know, it's real.
Yeah.
It's interesting. People, you know, like even like, you know, I'm Jewish, but we'll talk about Jesus for a moment. You know, people are like, oh, he died for my sins, and that's all great, but they don't talk about like one of the main things that he was here to show is like he came back 3 days later, and people like his disciples that were evolved were able to see him. And, it's like, so that everlasting life in the soul is so important to recognize, and knowing though that there are dark entities and they could be removed, and it doesn't have to be a scare. It's a beautiful, loving, gentle process. Nothing scary or dark about it. And just, I always encourage people, to have the courage to just go, do it, because there's just so much suffering otherwise.
I know. And there was, we were taught how to do exorcisms to take the dark energies off. And the priests at the Catholic Church would call my teacher, who had taught me all this, Ellen Kaufman Dosick. Oh my God. And she would be called, here we are Jewish, she's married to a rabbi, and please take these dark energies off, please do this exorcism. And it's so simple. And most people don't even realize that we're doing an exorcism in the processes that we're doing to clear any kind of darkness. So it's so safe.
And you're saying it was the Catholic priest that actually called?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. One more question for you. You used the word higher self before. Can you explain to us what you mean by that, please?
Okay. So, all right. If you're a massage therapist, you need to touch every day. You need to touch human skin and massage them. If you're a singer, you need to sing every day. If you are someone who loves animals, you've got to be with animals every day. Your higher self is where the joy is in your life, and the passion and the excitement for living and being. And it is your intuitive self. So that's what the higher self is.
Wow, beautiful. And what is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
You can call me at 949-293-1098, or you can email me at Cheryl, Cheryl MFCC at AOL.com.
Oh, beautiful. And we'll put that, all
there.
that information
Okay,
in the below, so people know how to access you. And do you do in-person or virtual sessions?
I just do virtual sessions now. And I have found, since I've been doing them since COVID, that sometimes they're more effective than being in person. What I found is some people who are not comfortable coming in can use the phone or FaceTime or Zoom as a little divider, to keep themselves not as vulnerable until they're comfortable. So it's a miracle, but we found that it works really, really well. Even EMDR works really well.
Yeah, I remember right at the beginning of COVID, I said, Cheryl, I need you to do EMDR on a client. Can we do it virtually? And you said, let's try it out on you for free.
Yeah, you were my guinea pig.
I was, but not only that, I was a guinea pig, but also that I needed more EMDR. And I just think another silver lining from COVID is that we have the ability to be virtual, so we can help clients all around the world. We can use healers all around the world, and we're really that connected. I know I have had some clients that only want to do things in person, and most of the healers are now virtual, and it's profound. So I'd like to say thank you again, Cheryl, so much for everything you do, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you are amazing.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Let's Talk Wellness. This podcast has been brought to you by the Hugs for Life Healing Center, a division of the Extraordinary Lives Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. If you would like to listen to more conversations like this, we invite you to subscribe to our mailing list at www.elfempowers.org to be notified when our weekly episodes are published. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you our next conversation on Let's Talk Wellness.